Hey guys, welcome. This is the Lean for Halloween 8-week challenge starting on the 5th of September, running all the way through till 31st of October. I'm going to run through each slide and try and explain this to you because sometimes when things are just written down, they're really difficult to understand. So we'll go through each slide, pop them up here, and then we'll just kind of discuss each one and what they mean and how to get out of it. So let's just get first into it. So first of all, the first slide you need is the setup. So you need to download MyFitnessPal or another calorie tracking app. I prefer MyFitnessPal, and I'll show you how to set this up near the end of this video once you've calculated the numbers you need to use. You need to have some sort of step counting device like an Apple Watch, Fitbit, etc. You can count steps just on your mobile phone, but it's way better if you have something that you wear 24/7. The steps are a huge part of this. And then you're going to need a gym or access to workout space and some gym equipment. If you need the calories that you're going to be consuming, and the steps are going to be the most important part. Being consistent with our workouts is also going to be important. So let's move on. The Lean for Halloween guide is available in the description if you want the actual paper copy of this. So just download it and print it out. It's completely free. The goal for this is to first hit consistency day after day, hitting the goals you've set out for yourself in this plan. Learn from mistakes. If you mess up, instead of going, well, that's it, it's over, learn from mistakes. Why did you not get your steps in on this day? How can you improve for the next time? And then really thinking about planning and executing what you need to do. So we've got this 8-week block that we're really going to try and work on consistency, because consistency equals results. Okay, let's move on to the first part. This is the calorie calculator. This is how we're going to work out how many calories you need. So there's two ways of doing this. First of all, you need your height in centimeters and take away 100. So if you're 170 centimeters tall, you just take away that 100. 70 is the number you're going to work with. And you're going to multiply that by 25.3. So whatever your number is, 25.3. The other way you can use it is your lean body mass. If you have a scale that works out your lean body mass, you can also multiply that by 25.3. If you do both of them and you work out two numbers, you're going to see that they're very close to each other. So what you can do is either opt for the bigger one or opt for the smaller one. You're going to have to readjust your calories at some point. So this just works out your resting metabolic rate. This is the amount of calories that you need at rest. If you were just sitting at home watching Game of Thrones all day and you did not move, this is the amount of calories your body needs just to operate this system. So that works out your resting metabolic rate. So our next thing that we're going to work out is our total daily energy expenditure. So this is where we're adding on activity. And this one I want to just run through a few things with. With this one, we've got several levels from low activity to medium activity to high activity. So I'll run through each one. So low activity would be considered 5K steps and 2 workouts a week. And I would just like to say that steps are walking only. So if you're running, don't include running steps in this. This is just steps that you're walking. And yes, that can be difficult to work out. So you're primarily looking for walking steps because these are the low intensity fat burning steps that you're looking for. A workout is equal to 1 hour of activity, weights and or cardio. So low activity is 5K steps, 2 workouts. You multiply your RMR, that number that we got from the previous step, by 1.1, and that will give you your total daily energy expenditure if that is your activity goal. Next up is 7K steps, 2 workouts. You multiply that by 1.2, and that will give you your total daily energy expenditure. Medium activity, which is the level that I would like most people to go for. You might have different goals. You might be doing more activity. You might be doing less activity depending on your life. Medium activity is where I would like most people to choose, especially if you don't know what to choose. That would be 10K steps and 3 workouts per week. And that is your RMR multiplied by 1.3. And that would work out your total daily energy expenditure. High activity would be 12K steps, 3 workouts, multiplied by 1.4, 12K steps, 4 workouts per week, resting metabolic rate, multiplied by 1.5, and 15K steps plus 5 workouts would be your resting metabolic rate, multiplied by 1.6, possibly even 1.7. So let's quickly do mine. So my height is 173 centimeters. So the number I use to multiply by 25.3 is 73. That gives me 1,846.9. So, and then I'm going to use this multiplier of 1.3. That's what I'm going to aim for. So I'm going to multiply that number by 1.3, and that gives me my total daily energy expenditure of 2,400. So our next step here is to work out our deficit calories. So look at diet calories. We can do various reductions. You could do a 40% reduction in calories, which would elicit the biggest fat loss, but it's by far the hardest to do. You could do a 30% reduction in calories, a 20% reduction in calories, and a 10% reduction in calories. You could also go 15% reduction, etc. But we'll just use those whole numbers just now. So most people, if they want the best kind of results, a 20% reduction in calories would be the best thing. And what you do is you multiply your total daily energy expenditure. So for me, 2,400, I could multiply that by 0.8, and that would give me my 20% reduction in calories. So if I go ahead and do that just now, so multiply by 0.8, that gives me 1,900 calories to eat. As long as I stick to that activity level and eat those calories, I will create a 20% reduction in calories. And because that's about 500 calories for me, so that should create around about a pound, half a kilo a week of loss. So our next thing up here is what I call your metabolic toggles. Is choosing the activity you want to choose, combining it with a diet you want to choose. So ideally, you don't want to do this 15K steps, 5 workouts a week on a 40% reduction in calories. That's just going to be way too stressful for the body. You want to kind of match these to what you're doing. So if you were going to do the 15K steps, 5 workouts per week, you could do a 10% reduction in calories, because that would give you enough nutrients to fuel that amount of workouts. That would be useful if you are wanting to lose weight, but you're also training for an event. If you're really training for fat loss and your fat loss is your main goal, choose this at medium activity, or even the 7K steps or the 12K steps. But around about the 10K steps, the medium activity with a 10 or 20% reduction would be great for most people. If you choose a 10% reduction, you're going to just balance out your hormones and you're going to level through, especially it'll be more like a maintenance phase for you. A 20% will give you a decent amount of fat loss. 30% might be too aggressive, but it might also be perfect for what you need if you're just going to battle out this last part of the kind of summer moving into autumn. Could be really useful. So circle on your metabolic toggle which activity you're going to do, match it to what deficit you're wishing to achieve. So the shopping list here isn't just blindly go shopping and buy this. You can circle the things you like and cross out the things you don't like. And the things on here are some vegetables. Of course, you can add more vegetables onto there. There's some proteins on there. There's some ideas for protein snacks. There's some cooking aids on there like air fryer, George Foreman grill, popcorn maker. All those things are really useful to have. Flavor enhancers, these are things that are low calorie, high flavor, that are really useful to have. So that's the shopping list. Score out what you don't like, circle what you do like, and add other things that you like that kind of fit into your plan. So next up, we have your protein target. So again, we're going to do a little bit of maths here. So your height in centimeters, take away 100, multiply by 2, just like we did before. So if I'm 173, I am going to use 73 multiplied by 2, which gives me around about 150 grams of protein. That's what I need to get in per day, and I can spread that between 3 to 4 meals. So use this sheet here to come up with 3 ideas for breakfast, 3 ideas for lunch, 3 ideas for dinner, and 3 ideas for snacks. That's optional, but 3 to 4 protein feedings per day. So if I have 150 grams of protein split between 3 meals, that would be 50 grams of protein each meal. And here's a top tip for you to find out how much protein you actually need to eat. So if I have 50 grams of protein per the meal, if I multiply that by 4, that would give me roughly in weight how much meat I need to eat. So that would be 200 grams of chicken, 200 grams of beef, 200 grams of fish, 200 grams of prawns will give me roughly 50 grams of protein. And that's a nice easy way to work it out. So just multiply your protein, what you need in a meal, by 4, and that would give you roughly what you need to get. Protein is the most important macronutrient to get in. If you hit that protein target and hit your calorie target, you will lose weight effortlessly.